guys, Marco here, welcome back to another lesson. Let me show you how to write chord progressions. Now we're going to approach these in two different ways, chord choice and color choice. With the chord choice, we just learn how to pick the chords from the scale and put it together, pretty easy. With the color choice, we're going to add a little bit more colors to the chords. So if you are a beginner, just stick with the chord choice. If you've been playing for a while and you want to kind of personalize the chords that you already know, just go with the color choice. Now you can get the tab, just check my Patreon page. By becoming a patron, you are actually an active supporter of this channel, so thank you so much to all the people who support me on my Patreon page. You are awesome. Now guys, we are not going to play all the examples in C major only, even though I think it's pretty cool and easy to play everything in one key, but at the same time I want you to train your ears and fingers to play these chords in different keys as well, so that you will also learn all the chords that you can put together in different keys as well, and not only the C major key. Now chords come from scales. It could be the major or the minor scale, the harmonic minor scale or the melodic minor scale, doesn't really matter. Each one of these scales generates 7 chords. So you lay down the scale, let's say the C major scale. For each one of these notes, we can basically generate a chord. The C major for the first, the D minor for the second, the E minor for the third, the F major for the fourth, the G major for the fifth, the A minor for the sixth, the B diminished for the seventh, and back to the C major for the eighth. Now this is pretty cool because once you learn that, if you're playing in A major, you can follow the same structure. A major is the first, B minor is the second, C sharp minor is the third, D major is the fourth, E major is the fifth, the F sharp minor is the sixth, the G diminished is the seventh, and we'll go back to the A. Now the first chord progression is the 1-4. We are playing two major chords. If we're in C major, we will play the C major and the F major chord. It's pretty major chord progression, sounds pretty, positive and happy. So the very first step is figure out the chords. If you are in G major, for example, you will be playing G and C major. If we are in E major, and A major. So if you want to focus on the chord choice, make sure that you learn these two chords, the 1-4, in different keys. Now you can play these two chords with the finger picking pattern, very simple. So we're already adding a little bit more color to the chords, but we could also use extended chords. Think about the C add 9 and the F add 9. Now I can also be more rhythmic. For example, if I play the two chords in G major, I could play a G add 9 and a C add 9 with the 6 and play it with more rhythm. Chord progression number 2 is the 1-3. This chord progression is beautiful, really beautiful. The reason why I love this chord progression so much is because it sounds so sweet and emotional. If you are in C major, we will be playing a C major chord followed by an E minor chord. And you can already feel that it's kind of an emotional chord progression. Now, if you want to go with the chord choice, for example, you will have C major and E minor in the key of C major. If you are in, let's say, A major key, you will get the A major and the C sharp minor. Now you can make this chord progression super sweet with a simple finger picking pattern. Look how we can play it. Now we heard this chord progression in many movies. Now for these chords, I don't really like to add a lot of colors because I think they just sound so beautiful. So you don't necessarily have to add a lot of extended chords. I would rather just play with the different voicings and, for example, play an A major with this voicing. So A and a C minor, a C sharp minor. And so now the next chord progression is the 1, 3, 4. So we're adding an additional chord to the 1, 3 to kind of make it a little bit less emotional and kind of move towards a more happy vibe. So if you are in D major, B minor, and then G major. Now you can add a lot of colors even with the strumming. For example, you could play a D sus2 and D sus4, a B minor, a B minor add 11, G major 7, G major 6, and G, and go back to the G. So in order to add colors, you don't necessarily have to play with the finger picking technique. In fact, in this example, we were actually strumming the strings. Now we can also kind of change the fourth chord into a minor fourth if we want to add really a lot of color. And so you will be playing D and B minor, add 11, and G major 7, G minor. If you play this chord progression with the finger picking pattern, you can really make it work. The fingerstyle technique really allows you to add also single note, which I think is a bonus because, as you can see, we can add kind of a melody within the chords and make it sound beautiful. Now, next chord progression, the 1, 6, 4, 5. This is probably the most common chord progression that we play all the time. If we are in C major, you will have C major, A minor, F major, and G major. It's pretty simple, and we kind of use this all the time. Now with this chord progression, we can really create a lot of musical ideas that are repeated throughout the chords. For example, so in this example, I'm just playing C major with the melody, like C major, add 9, and C major. The A minor will follow the same pattern. The F major as well, follow the same melody. And then the G sus4 and the G major. Now you can also add the minor fourth here as well. For example, you could have C, the A minor, the F major, F minor, and G and C. The 1, 6, 4, 5 can also be played in any other key, and it works pretty cool with a lot of different colors. Just think about if you play this thing in E major. You have E major, C sharp minor, and A, and B, and E. Now we also don't necessarily have to start with the chord 1. For example, we could start with the 2 and then go to the 4 and then to the 1 and then to the 5. Think about it. D minor, F, C, and G. And if you add a little bit more color to this, so in this case, we are playing a 2, 4, 1, 5. So that's it, guys. This is how you put together a chord progression. This is how you write a chord progression. Now, there are a lot of different combinations. We can't check them all. But I want you to do one exercise which is insanely helpful. Write things down, write the chord progression down, and then record it. It doesn't matter how you play, if you just strum the chords, or if you play the finger picking pattern, if you add a melody to the chords. The most important thing is that you have a journal of all these chord progressions. And if you can record them and listen to it, it's even better. So write things down and record things because it's extremely important and good for your fingers, for your ears, and for your overall playing. So I'll let you practice these chords. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.